Most of us have a GPS function on our phone. It tells us where we are and actually helps us get to where we want to go. Today I want to talk about 4 products by Clover that help us know where we are and where we want to go in the knitting and the crochet process. The first thing we want to talk about is our pattern chart marker set. We've seen some beautiful crochet items and some beautiful knitted items. The more complex they are, we find the more complex the set of instructions. The instructions are usually demonstrated as rows of either symbols or text that we can read, and it tells us exactly what we want to do. Now, the worst thing we can do is either repeat a row or skip a row, because we usually don't discover that error until several rows later, and then we have to take all of those out and go back and repair our errors. Well, we're pretty ingenious people, so we figured up a lot of ways to make sure we don't skip these rows. And we've used paper clips and post-it notes. Sometimes we just lay a ruler across. We use pens to check them off, or even highlighter pens to mark off which rows we've already completed. But to help us make sure that we don't skip these rows or repeat rows, Clover has invented the ultimate pattern chart marker set. It's actually made out of heavy-duty vinyl, folds in half, it closes with a magnetic closure that holds it firmly in place. Once we finish the row, we can just slide it over, lock it in place. We have the center cut out, so it focuses our attention just on the row that we're working on at that moment. Now, it comes in a 9-inch size and a 12-inch size, so it can fit on the larger charts or on the smaller pages. Okay, so that tells us where we're going. Those are our instructions. But how do we know where we are right now? Clover has 3 row counters. The first is just our knitting counter. It's a desk set. It just sits right beside you. You push down on it and it will click through the rows and count the rows that you've done. The second one is our mini knitting counter. And all you do is just push on it and it clicks and goes from 0 to 99. If you're going to put this away, you can actually has a little lock. You can lock that so it doesn't inadvertently add rows to your project that you haven't actually done. If you have small children in the house, this is a good thing too. Another tip we've received from one of our friends is that she has several projects all going at the same time. In order to keep track of which counter goes with which project, she attaches some yarn from that project to the counter so she can just match the colors and know exactly where she is. The last one we have is our knitting register. We can just slide this right onto your knitting needle. When you finish a row, you just click it over one, and you're always in track of exactly where you are. So, between the pattern chart marker and whichever one of the row counters matches your needs, you have GPS for knitting and crochet. As always, we're interested in your thoughts. Please comment below. I'm Steve Butler. That's been Tool School.